Welcome back to WUB Network, and as you can see, I got the 2018 update, so volume is way too loud. So as you'll see, I'm going to be doing a race with this, and like many other people have, I'm going to be going to the Charlotte Roval, and the driver I am going to use for this, I'm still thinking about it, but I think I know where I'm going with this. Because I want to do something different, because I've seen everybody and everybody's doing different cars. I just realized I went the ridiculously long way to this. But I am going to be now driving for the Levine Family Racing, Casey Kane's Procore car. And obviously, we're doing it at the Charlotte Roval. Quick race settings, let's just see. Let's make it hard. Let's make it 103. 7%. Let's actually make it 13. 3 stages. And a quick qualify. And full damage. Because you do have to reset your settings for this, and there's an easy transition from one to the other, so if you didn't know, it's $9.99. It's a very easy purchase, and it's a very easy download too. It only took about a minute for me for this download to take place. And then it just resets some things, but there's an easy button so you can get back to 2017. So the one thing that kind of annoys me is the career mode aspect, and that the career mode doesn't translate from one to the other. I wish there was a way that they could just replace the cup guys, so you could keep your career mode with that. So, I mean, I'm not going to do a ton of these, because I can't go online with this. This is just what I'll be using for single player things, so some of those dopey crashes that I put up. But this, and I am going to do a Daytona 500 on here, just as a little prediction. Casey Kane was still out there with his farmer's insurance thing on, and oh boy, this should be interesting. I have no idea how this track goes. I've watched a David Land video, and that's all I've seen really of the Roval. So, and I know this is not the same layout that they're going to have in the actual Cup Series. And as for the Progressive Cup Series, there's not going to be a Roval this season, but don't count that out necessarily for, I mean, for the second season there's no Roval. There could be for the third season, because we might change Charlotte from being the finale race. And as you can see, I am absolutely terrible at the Roval so far. And then when we get to this chicane, which is the most ridiculous chicane I think I've ever seen on a track before. This should be interesting. Oh man. Yeah, I judged that badly. Okay. That's why we have qualifying. I know I'm going to end up starting last unless some miracle happens. So those hairpins that I went through when I ran into the tire barrier before the chicane, that's what's gone. And I made that through with not too much. It's Casey Kane driving the 95 this year, and I gotta say, he's been doing so well on all those preseason testing. I really think he's got a chance to be successful with this 95 team and a new look. Maybe a little too much pressure on him with Hendrick Motorsports, because really he hasn't produced in the last like 4 years. As Casey Kane makes it through the hairpin turn. And he's in the wall. Down to only like 25 miles an hour through that corner. And we've already got a whole bunch of aero damage. We'll try to make it through this without any major issues. And this time we do successfully. And obviously we're starting last, but a 1:37, not as bad as I thought, and only 2 seconds off the pace. Kevin Harvick will start on the pole, as we'll see where your favorite driver is and try to relocate them. The Front Row Motorsports numbers are still pending for whatever reason. So let's start the race. Oh boy, we gotta make it through the chicane double file. This should be interesting, to say the least. So let's see how many. Only 3 laps in the stage. There's Brennan Gaughan. Nice to see him in this. I like seeing Brennan Gaughan and then Kennington in the paint scheme that he actually races in. And how about this start? Matt DiBenedetto figuring it out. I forgot what difficulty I'm on. I think 103, so I'm not on 105. So I don't have 100% of the challenge. There's Michael McDowell in the new ride. Trevor Bayne and Eric Jones just ahead, and we ended up way in the grass, but we were already more than halfway through the field. Now, something that's going to be very confusing in this game is Paul Menard and Ryan Blaney, and I mean the whole series this year, when they are both running their Menard schemes, when Menard is not in the Motorcraft scheme, and wow, 19 miles an hour through that last turn. Like, it's going to be an interesting look, especially from high above. I can't wait for how many times the Fox booth gets the two of them mixed up, especially if Menard is running well with the new team. So let's see how hard we can run it through here. We really got to let off here. But how about this first lap all the way to 13th? Whoa. And we pretty much used Jimmy Johnson as a buffer there. And we spin Chase Elliott. I know people aren't going to be happy about that, so I saved him. It's Kyle Larson, new blue paint scheme. A lot of blue paint schemes and a lot of like standout colors this year. Yellow, purple, and also a decent amount of black. White paint schemes are gone this year. So many drivers have gotten rid of white. Not a lot of green. Not a lot of red either. Because meanwhile, there's Darrell Wallace Jr. We pass him for 9th place. So next weekend we'll do or maybe even this weekend, I don't know, depending on the time, we'll do a Daytona 500 of sorts. Probably like a 25% race. So we use Suarez. And I mean, I guarantee you that actually the Arrow is much better than I thought it was. We are up to 6th place here. Denny Hamlin is in 5th. So Sunday is going to be the Bristol stop motion race, if you were wondering. And oh no. I switched camera angles and that was like the worst decision of my life. And the caution's going to come out and we're going to miss out on stage points. We're going to be 11th and we're going to have to come down pit road. Yeah, and I didn't set pit stops like they should, so nobody else is going to have to pit the rest of the race. I don't know what the heck happened to Joey Logano, but he is back here with us and with Carl Long. So, I don't know if you guys are on Twitter or followed it anywhere. And whoa, there's a wreck in front of us. Clint Boyer got spun out. Let me just get through here before I start my story so I make sure I don't wreck. Anyway, so I don't know if you guys have heard, so there's not going to be any DNQs this year at Daytona. And everyone was like, oh my goodness, there's only going to be 39 cars, it's not even going to be a full field. Well, there's 40. BK Racing did get a car there. It just showed up today, really without any notice, this unsponsored 23 car, and Greg Alding just hopped in, and he's going to be driving the Daytona 500. So that team is $8 million in debt. And when you think about a NASCAR team, especially an underfunded team, and how much debt they're in, I mean, that team came out with a splash because they brought in, right when they first started, they brought in Landon Castle and David Ruderman, both talented drivers, established talented drivers, might I add. And what in the world is going on here? Okay, and I mean, they had Burger King, they had Dr. Pepper, both as their sponsors. I mean, that was a good group of sponsors, but then the team really started to fall to pieces. And I guess in debt from all these sponsors. And whoa! Wow, I've gotten very good at that chicane. I can go through there hard, flat out. But anyway, yeah, so they've got an unsponsored 23 car that's going to be driven by Greg Alding. So, as wild as it may seem, Greg Alding and Corey LaJoie both do get rides for the Daytona 500. Obviously, if you didn't know, and we get into the wall, and that should bring out a caution. Brennan Gaughan is all the way in the top 20. No caution. I don't know why that didn't bring out a caution. I don't know. I think I might have relaxed yellows on those, so that's why that spin by Boyer, which should have brought out a caution, didn't. But anyway, this is the aero damage we're going to live with the rest of the race unless we get a caution. And I don't think I'm going to pit after stage 2. But anyway, and I completely lost my frame of thought, but LaJoie is in the field, Greg Alding, Mark Thompson, and then of course Danica. They're all in the field. And it's going to be interesting because you got to think this BK Racing, they get a ride for Daytona. That team's going to be a mess. That team's going to be gone in a few weeks for good. They've got a restraining order. It's just, that team is a big mess. DJ Kennington only runs a few races. Brennan Gaughan is only going to run the Daytona 500. And no, our car is smoking. That's not good. 66 car is going to be part-time. Premium Motorsports could be part-time. And when that you get all down through that, you get down to only 35 cars every week at the Cup races. His 22nd is the finish in the stage. So we'll just pit, repair the damage, and deal with it. But anyway, so it's going to be interesting to watch the Cup Series this season. Got a couple big names back here, Logano and Boyer. I didn't see who the stage winner was. We'll see how long. Wow, we still got a long way to go. 10 laps. Clint Boyer in the wall, Carl Long in the wall, and somehow no caution. Never mind. Yeah, I drove a little too hard through there. So Casey Kane here in the 95 car. Boyer's car heavily damaged. I think I shoved him right into the wall. There's Todd Gilliland. Haley Deegan, who's like 15 now, but she's still racing in this. And whoa, man. That was a little too hard. Almost 5 wide for a moment. Into this skinny part where 3 wide is an eternity. We've got 7 laps to go here. I like the Roval. It's going to bring about quite the challenge. So if you're still watching, maybe make some suggestions as to who I should be when I race the Daytona race. I could be Jamie Rockwell, or I could be any driver on this game. So just let me know who you want me to be. I have a feeling I'm going to end up being either Chase Elliott or William Byron. And we're going to just turn McDowell right into the middle of the field, and now cars are stopped all over the place back there. Speaking of stopped, you'd think they maybe would have given AJ Allmendinger a little more of a boost with the AI, but surprisingly, in every one of these I've seen, he's only running about 15th at the best. So we run 19th here. Still successfully running flat out through there. Thought about going to the outside of Dinger, but realized don't want to go double file through here. Oh, and we just killed the Dinger, and now we just killed ourselves. That's just great. Not good here. And somehow, 2 cars going head first into the barriers does not bring out a caution. I gotta make sure I did have relaxed yellows on, because I hope they aren't having a caution glitch already with this 2018 patch. Now, what I did notice in the other ones I've watched, though, the pit thing might have been fixed. And as you've seen in the Skip McGinnis career mode, the issues with pitting. Because there are times where drivers will pit, and then they'll come out like 20 positions below everybody, yet they all took 4 tires. And it makes absolutely no sense. So here's like 16-year-old Chase Cabra running in 24th. Let's see if we can get anything else going here as we go to gutsy 26 miles per hour through the corner. And this car is going ridiculously slow. We really desperately need a caution now. Because we are just slowing down more and more. And oh no, now we're side by side through here. And now a big crash. Now it does finally bring out the caution. As we took out Harrison Burton, Kennington. I didn't even see that, but regardless, we got a pit. We're going to be last, and we still have engine issues. I saw a little smoke, but now we don't. I literally have no idea, but anyway, we only have 2 laps to go. Let's just see how far we can get in 2 laps. Dinger is all the way back here now. Way down through here, and we're already got 11 positions. There's the 51, not of Red Black Jr. or Justin Marks, but instead Harrison Burton. A couple of Roush cars on my outside. A couple of small teams. Go Fast Racing, TriStar. Here's William Byron. We haven't passed him, I don't think, all day. Austin Dillon, I like the new paint scheme for him. William Byron, oh man. There's just so much beating and banging going on here. So let's just see, there's Jimmy Johnson with that new black paint scheme that looks a little interesting. Almost wrecking Kyle Larson there. Now this should be interesting because we're a little more bunched up as we go through there. I'm aiming for the top 10. 10th place, I believe. I'm not sure who that is up there, though. Still not 100% familiar with these paint schemes. That might be Alex Bowman as we smack that wall relatively hard. As long as we don't get enough damage to start smoking here in this last lap. So we completely take out Kyle Larson. Race Kyle Busch clean and get around him. That is Jamie McMurray up there. Ryan Newman not in his Daytona 500 paint scheme. Neither is McMurray. Newman driving a Cabela's car in the 500. McMurray in his normal McDonald's and Cessna car for the 500. So remember, we're still looking for drivers for the Virtual Racing Championship, which is going to be starting next month. So if you have Xbox Live, if you have NASCAR Heat 2, please sign up on that video from last week. We right now have 11 teams, 10 full-time, and we'll be starting in March. So please tell your friends if they're interested in NASCAR. Please join the series. So we are up to 8th place, getting around Kurt Busch, I believe, for the first time today. Then it's Bubba Wallace, Chase Elliott. We'll see if we can get to Bubba through here, but I think we're either going to be 8th or 9th. Or it could be worse, depending on how we do through the chicane one last time. It's one of our smoothest chicane entries. And we smack the wall. So here we come one last time. And, of course, that's how we're going to end this. We wreck McMurray. Kyle Busch wrecks us. I have no idea how I'm going to get across the line now. Just drive backwards, I guess. 23rd. So I was going for 8th. I ended up 23rd, but that is the Roval. So I hope you enjoyed. Remember to drop a like. New vids coming soon. This is WUB Network, America's sports leader. And before I sign off, let's just see who won the race. Let's see. So we were 23rd. Logano way in the back. Larson was 39th. Kevin Harvick, Keselowski, Truex, Blaney, Hamlin, your top 5.